So today I want to go over all of these 32 brands that I made a list before. New collection. Let's see, I'm sure all of you guys know Ader Error. What's unique about Ader is that they put a lot of little bits of details that you can't really find anywhere else, like anywhere in the brand. It's kind of like a cute detail. So these type of little stitch details is what they really like to use. They like the unfinished look as a product. But these type of blazers, I mean, like a jacket, coat jacket, looks really nice. How much is it? $500 to almost $500. But honestly, on Essence, they usually go on sale because Ader, I feel like it's, even though it's a Korean brand and their quality is decent, I still feel like the retail price is too expensive. And by the way, is the mic volume okay? I tried playing around with it. Jackets like this, the good thing about it is that once you buy it, you will be able to wear it for a couple of seasons. It's not like something that has a really bold, like for example, like an off-white mark that you can't really wear a couple seasons. It won't be embedded in people's minds. So when I think of like longevity of clothes, it's mainly about how bold is the logo and when will people forget about the logo. So for example, like Balenciaga or Off-White, if once people see it, they'll always remember it, right? So then as you wear it next season, next season, people will be like, oh, you're still wearing that? That's gonna happen. However, something like this, which doesn't have a logo, I doubt that people will recognize it. They'll still be like, oh, that's a pretty nice blazer, and they might know that you wore it last year, but still a nice blazer, still a nice jacket, not a blazer. So for Andersson Bell, I will look for sweats. Andersson Bell, I feel like Andersson Bell, they do live up to their price point. Yeah, pretty nice. Oh, what I see a lot for this spring summer is this type of what's it called, thin sweaters, like linen woven sweaters that have a lot of holes. Those are, I think I saw it from Youth. I see those a lot and they actually look really nice. Yeah, so something like this is female, but even if you look at men's, you kind of get what I mean, right? Yeah, something like this, but in menswear. I see a lot of these. So I want something like that and I'm looking for it. And Andersson Bell, when I touched it, their fabric was pretty nice. But so this is $150. This beige color and even the sky blue, 90% linen, 10% nylon. As I mentioned, linen sweaters, linen woven sweaters with transparent. Should I get this? Their stitching detail is really nice. So for example, these are all embroidered. The embroiderment quality was pretty nice. So you can think of this as like $54, and that is pretty decent choice. Their collection this year is really good, is what I can say. Because even the color palettes, these are so what I'm thinking for 2021 and even 2022 spring summer, you use a lot of bold colors. So use something like an accent color and then go with something subtle. You see how like this one, neon blue, like really bright blue as the accent, and then the brown is kind of toned down, and then also the sky blue toned down, everything's toned down. So find something like an accent color that you can really utilize. That would be a really nice choice for this spring summer. Oh, a lot of breathable sweaters that I can see. Super nice. So Youth is a Korean brand that I don't think a lot of people know. If you've been watching my channel, you probably heard of it. It's a brand that I personally like. They do make some nice products. I have a button-up shirt from them, pants. What I focus on Youth is something like this, like a Korean version of La Mer or Orally is what Youth is. That's what I would describe it as. And female, pretty decent. I think it's their first season for female. From my impression, Youth is a really minimal brand, as I mentioned, but they're using a lot of fraying details. And this one, I really recommend this type of polo t-shirt, polo sweater. I see this a lot. And like honestly, wearing it is not hard. You can just wear it like this. It gives a different mood. It's more like, because if you didn't have those diagonal lines and if you didn't have the holes, the impression that I get is like, oh, you wear a polo shirt. But then as you get these diagonal lines and like holes, I get the impression of like, wow, that guy wear a polo shirt, but he knows about clothes. He cares about his clothes. That's the impression that I get. So I do recommend, if you're going for, especially spring summer, you're not going to layer stuff and you can't show off your fashion sense, then I do recommend something like this, because these little details, as you go up close to that person, you can see it. And recently I love the half button polo shirts a lot, so keep that in mind if you are looking for those. I feel like that is probably like one of the trendiest items that you can get for next season. Brownyard. collection. What I'm really hoping for Korean brands within the next couple of years is kind of become more like Japanese brands, where they actually have a statement piece, or like, you know how when you think of any Japanese brands, you kind of know like, oh, this brand is going for that. I wish Korean brands are more going for those, and I really like this denim shirt jacket because I was looking for those. You see how like on the sleeve there's like the pleats, I guess. I really love that part and the way it folds up. Yeah, Brownyard again is going for more simplistic look. However, compared to Youth, it's more on the casual and like the masculine side than Youth. But what I think Koreans are good at is having these flowy material and combining the feminine and the masculine mood at the same time. I feel like that's what we're really good at, and that's what that's why people are looking for Korean brands when they want to have that like feminine and masculineness match. For spring summer, these shirts are really nice. However, you would get sweaty during summer. Even if you roll it up, there's a limit. Horlisun, I don't think a lot of people have heard of. What I would focus on in their collection, honestly, like all of these t-shirts, you can find any replacements in North America. Nothing that really catches my eyes. So let's go to the next one. Ourselves. Oh, I honestly love Ourselves, except it's kind of expensive in my opinion. It's mostly around like $200. So these typewriter shirts are $130, and then the outers, like a shirt jacket, is around like $150 to $200. It's not a cheap price point. However, I do think they offer overseas shipment if you ask them on Instagram. So let's see their lookbook. Compared to their price, their fabric is all sourced from either Japan, Italy, or some from Korea, but they do use really high quality material, and all of their colorways, like the color combination, super easy: beige, sky blue. So I do recommend checking them out. If you have any products in mind, send them an Instagram DM. I'm pretty sure they would help you with. So this is the mood that they want to provide. It's more of like a semi-formal casual vibe. It's like casual formal. There should be a word casual formal instead of semi-formal. So Document, their spring summer 2021 collection. Document is a brand that I feel like if you guys like komori, if you guys like that, like these type of really rough but flowy fabric, I feel like that's what Document is good at. So something like this, like their blazers would look like this. That's what Document is good at. They also do ship overseas, so if you are interested, their quality is actually really nice. I do recommend checking it out. However, for the price, I mean, not for the price, but it's just that the price is expensive. As I mentioned, if you're looking for these, like something like Evan Kinori, if you go to North America, that would be like Evan Kinori equivalent. And they source all their fabrics from either England, Italian, Japanese, like a lot of high-end fabric, so I do recommend it. And yeah, all of these, this big thing is their logo. I am personally not a big fan of it. I don't know, like without the logo, I feel like the clothes would just look better, right? I loved this setup. When I went to the store and I saw this, I was like, oh, I want to buy it. But then the jacket is like $400 and the pants are like $250. So that's around like $650 just for the setup. And I was like, oh, I wish I was rich. All their setups and jackets are amazing, so I do recommend it. And then Yearsago, I haven't seen Yearsago in person. Looks pretty decent, but these are all fall winter, right? I feel like this could be spring summer, but right now, since it's April, it's too hot for these type of wear. Ptry is a pretty famous brand as well, really famous in Korea. Online store or collection. Seems like they did a good job. It's like something that you can wear out of the office and in the office, but at the same time, because it's kind of like a normal spectrum, I don't think you would have to pay overseas shipping and like go through the hassle of translating Korean. And as you can see, I'm super honest with my things. Yeah, again, this is more like what you can find anywhere in the world if you want to find it. Like, you just have to know the style and you just have to know the fabric and stuff. If you want to find this anywhere in the world, you can definitely find it. So I won't recommend this either. Wooyoungmi. Oh, Wooyoungmi, I feel like she is Korean. I'm proud of a Korean designer like this. Her details are really bold. If you are into streetwear, I do recommend, like, if you get one Wooyoungmi piece, you won't really regret it. However, the price point is super expensive, so wait for Essence sale. If you go on Essence or even Farfetch, I feel like they would have sale for Wooyoungmi. Just wait for that, because for a streetwear bold piece, I do recommend it. However, their price is just insane. If you see the back, you see this thing, this square logo. That's their logo, and in terms of streetwear, like, people who love streetwear, they will recognize this, and it's something like a statement piece, and it can be a statement piece in your streetwear. This one is more of a dark wear in Korean, so it's pretty unique because in the Korean community, there's not a lot of people who dress dark wear, and we don't produce a lot of dark wear. However, this one is pretty dark if you see it. One thing to keep in mind is that for their price, I wasn't really satisfied with the quality. That was the impression that I got, because there's like some loose stitches and the buttons were not as tight as I would like to be. If you ever visit Korea, I feel like it's worth visiting and buying. However, if you're overseas, I'm not sure how they offer. Oh, but something like this cardigan looks really nice. This is basically the mood. It's more of like a sexy dark wear. So archive 4.0. Did they? So I guess this is their spring summer collection, because I did a review on this maybe probably like last year. But honestly, if I were to just look at those, I would look at shop, because this is where you can see the detail. I wasn't really happy with the way they display their collections, because I don't know, it was just not doing the job for the amazing pieces. So if you see these, all of these like little bits of details, as you can see, oh, I actually want this. This is the left. So as you go to the left, so from right, center, left, right is the most like minimal and classic design, center is the middle, and then left is like the most deconstructivism, like deconstructive design and avant-garde. So as you can see, this is the right, center, and left. Left is like super avant-garde, center is like wearable, it has a bit of details, and then right is more of a classic wear. Still has a taste of PAF, however, it's more on the wearable side rather than like showing off. And personally, for the blazer, I would love the left, but this one I do love the, but $430 US, so expensive, and the blazer's like 2K. Oh my god. If you're into streetwear, definitely check this out, because sometimes even on Grailed you might find it for a good price. However, it's less likely because people are all over PAF right now. Lastly, for this video, I was initially planning to do all 32, but now I'm slowly thinking that, and Pass is a brand that a lot of people ask me about, so all of them sold out. It's pretty famous in Korean scene right now. It's not a designer brand. Like this guy, he didn't study any designing. However, his taste in clothes is amazing. Like if you see his Instagram, you see like his way of dressing has a really unique style, right? Follow him, Juan. That's his Instagram, and as you can see, because of his unique taste, and he spends a lot of money on clothes, so he probably learned a lot. And you can see all these details, the pants, and I think this is the one that a lot of people ask, this blazer. Yeah, the blazer that I wore before, this is something that a lot of people have asked me about, like, where did I get this, how can you get it? But right now, sold out, pre-order. I don't think they ship overseas. That's the bad part. Yeah, but this is what he is making. Maybe he might ship overseas, but in terms of their website, he doesn't offer overseas shipping. And